Good morning. Welcome back. It's the Absolutely Mindy Show on Kids Place Live. And last week, our producer, Tori, stopped by on our show, and she was really late for work, and she had a really good excuse, or at least it wound up being a pretty good excuse. And it was all because of a water tower with a happy face on it. And we started talking about this, and then we started asking all these questions about water towers, and nobody could answer our questions. So, Tori, you are back again today. You're here on time.
Yes, thank you.
Why don't you pull your microphone down to, what are you doing? She's got her microphone above her head. Okay, so we've got Tori here, and Tori, you stopped by today, but you brought along a friend.
I did.
Okay, so first of all, just to give the backstory, what was the deal last week with the water towers?
All right. Well, again, I have to apologize for being late. Mindy asked me to do little nice things for her every day to make up for it, so I've been bringing her candy and clean socks. I've been doing her laundry. So yeah. I hope we can move past this.
Okay,
after today.
We're close.
Okay.
So it depends on how good this guest is.
Okay. So I had to take a detour on my way to work last week because I saw very far away, like I'm talking hundreds, 1,000 miles away in Illinois, I could see this yellow tiny dot. And I said, what is that? I need to figure out what's going on here. So I had to take a detour, and I found my way to Illinois.
Washington, D.C. to Illinois, a detour.
I was following, like the North Star, I was following this yellow thing that I could just see off in the distance, and I wound up in Calumet City, Illinois. And what I came upon was a smiley face water tower, this huge water tower that every town has, but theirs was a little bit special, and it was painted bright yellow as the sun, in the shape of a smiley face, with the black smiley face painted on it. So I found out that the whole reason it is like that, legend has it, was that about 30 years ago, one of the town's younger citizens, a little 11, 12-year-old girl, wrote a letter to the mayor simply suggesting, why don't we paint a smiley face on our water tower? The mayor, being a perfectly rational individual, said, yes, that's an excellent idea. We should do that. And so they did that, and it started this trend kind of across the country of smiley face water towers.
And then we started talking about water towers, and we were like, are those things really filled with water? Like, has anyone ever seen the water? Can you drink out of one of them? And we had all of these questions, and our listeners had all of these questions, and we had literally no answers.
None.
Why are the towers so high? Why are they so big? So you brought along somebody today that can help answer some of these questions about the water towers that we pass when we're driving every single day and know nothing about. Tori?
Precisely. Please give a warm Kids Place Live welcome to Chuck Sweeney. Chuck, say hi.
Hello.
Hi, Chuck. So, Chuck, you're visiting us here from the District of Columbia Water and Sewer Authority.
Yes, I am.
Really fancy place.
It is a fancy place.
And what is your job there, Chuck Sweeney?
I deliver water to the District of Columbia, and then we take wastewater away from the residents.
Wait a minute. You deliver water to the District of Columbia. So, like, did you bring us some water here today? Like, maybe some, like, vitamin water or some fruit flavor infused water? You have pockets full of water, Chuck?
No, I do not have pockets.
Fill the water.
I do not have pockets filled with water.
All right.
But if you go out to the nearest water fountain, that is our water.
Really?
Yes, it is.
So we have you to thank for that water in our water
Yes,
stuff?
you do. You have a whole bunch of people at DC Water to thank for that.
And you mentioned that you take the wastewater away.
Mm-hmm.
So do we need to send you away with
No.
Like,
That's okay. That's okay.
Like
we have a system.
Sanitary, and you're dressed in a suit. I just don't want to send you away with like buckets of wastewater from our bathrooms here. That would be disgusting.
It would. And so no, I'm good.
Okay, so let's talk about these water towers here.
Okay.
What's the deal with the water towers?
Well, so first of all,
Okay.
they are filled with water.
Really?
Yes, they are. And they're so tall because we have to be able to deliver water pressure to our customers. So whenever you turn on your faucet at home, you have water that comes streaming out. And so to get the water to stream out faster, we have to elevate the water to deliver it to our customers. So it provides more pressure. So the higher you go, the more pressure.
So, So are all water towers the same height? Is there like a magic height that they should be for just the right amount of pressure?
Well, Typically, yes.
Okay.
But they vary in size depending on the number of customers that you're delivering water to and the topography of the ground or the area that they serve. So you typically want to have about 30 to 80 psi to deliver to our customers.
What in the world?
Pressures per square inch.
Okay.
And so the higher you go, the more pressure that you can maintain and deliver to your customers. So you want towers typically, they're probably about 100 to 120 feet high, typically.
And how many water towers? I mean, so we're looking, there's a water tower here in D.C. near.
We have three of them.
There's one that I pass almost every day. It's near Union Station. I think it even says Union Station on this water. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I do not.
Although, maybe it's not a water tower. It's pointy at the top.
Yeah, no, it's probably not one of ours.
What is that? You know what it is,
Mindy,
Tori?
I believe you're referring to the Noma Station
Yeah.
thing. That's not a water tower. That's the size of like a small apartment.
Definitely
doesn't have any water in it.
Okay, scrap that idea then.
Yes.
But we have seen some of these water towers. Is that enough water? Like, for these 3 water towers, is that enough to provide water for every citizen of Washington, D.C.?
Well, we have the elevated towers. We have 3 of them in our system.
Okay.
So 2 of them are located over in Anacostia and 1 at Fort Reno. And so typically we have them at the higher elevations because, before I moved to D.C., I didn't realize D.C. was so hilly.
Right.
So we go from, 0 elevation up to about 300, 350 feet here at D.C. So in order to serve that population, we store water at various locations, at various heights, around the city. So we have 11 storage sites around the city, and we can store 110 million gallons of water.
And how does the water get into the water tower?
Good question. So we pump it. So we have pump stations around the city. So there's 5 pump stations around D.C. that we use to pump water into these tanks and reservoirs.
And when the water is pumped into the water tower, is it already cleaned and filtered?
Yes, it is. It is what we call potable water, drinkable water. So we just store it there. So we have the ability to then, if there's any kind of power outage, any kind of hiccup in the system, that we have time to respond. And plus, we want to have enough storage for the people, and we need enough storage for any kind of emergencies. So say there was a fire.
Right.
So we want to have enough water stored so that the fire department can respond and have enough water to fight that fire.
So if you pop the lid off of one of these water towers, which would not be something
that wouldn't
we
be
should
good.
do,
Yeah, you shouldn't do
but
that.
you could take a straw and drink right out of it.
Yes, you could.
And so
I wouldn't recommend that,
Okay,
though.
I will never do. I promise you, I will not do this.
Okay,
Okay,
please.
all right. Although I am getting some ideas here.
Ooh, no.
Let me ask you this question. So, do the water towers, do they ever run out of water? Are they ever in danger of running low on water?
We have plans, pumping plans during the day to make sure that doesn't happen.
Okay.
So that's why we store an abundance of water in some of these tanks. So then if we do have any kind of maintenance problems, supply problems, that, the tanks will be able to provide water while we're fixing our problems. So, a typical tank, could hold 1 million or 2 million gallons of water. So that could last, anywhere from 6 to 8 hours.
That's it?
That's it.
We are flushing a lot of toilets and taking a lot of baths and showers.
Yes, we are.
I thought you were going to say like months or something. 6 to 8 hours?
In some of our areas, that the demand is such that that's how long it lasts.
Wow. So, in terms of when we turn on our faucets, and if there's a water tower near your home, the closest water tower near your home, it's safe to say that the water that you are flushing your toilet with or pouring out of your sink, that comes from that tower?
Yes, it does.
Wow. For
So-
some reason, it seems like that seems too easy or something. You know what I mean?
Well, it is pretty easy. So
Yeah.
you pump the water up, and so you fill it, and then you allow the water to drain, down to some minimum level,
Right.
to where you want to use the water because, it has we want to deliver fresh water, so it's good for us to recycle the water in our tanks to make sure that we're delivering the freshest water possible.
So all day long, that tower is being emptied and refilled.
Yes.
All day long.
All day long.
Wow, and it just looks like nothing's going on.
It doesn't. So you look at it, it's totally transparent to everything. But when you go turn your faucet on, water comes out.
That is so cool. All right, I told you guys talking about water towers would be interesting. Well, it's going to get even more interesting here in just a couple of minutes because when we come back, Chuck Sweeney, I want to talk a little bit about wastewater.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
And what happens to that when you take it back from us.
Okay.
All right. Wastewater coming up next. Good morning. It's the Absolutely Mindy Show on Kids Place Live. We're here with Chuck Sweeney today. He is the Director of Distribution and Conveyance Systems. Nobody knows what that means, including Chuck. We'll talk with him more about this water business in just a few minutes.